That's the spirit.
All right, so we can now. What are we going into next? So
no,
we
we're actually. I was gonna try and segue that somehow with fucking and vaginas and stuff, but Nintendo has decided that they're gonna offer up a bunch of bucks. See, I knew fucking would come in there some way. Nintendo is offering up what was it, like $20,000, something ridiculous, to enterprising hackers who will for Nintendo find security faults in 3DS operating system hardware, software, things like that. For more, Alpha Omegason, what do you know about it?
Well, I would like to think that Nintendo should pull a swerve, and it's actually $20,000 in like the eShop, and not actual money. So then they can have an even bigger laugh at the expense of people. But they essentially want to make somebody become a fucking snitch, come forward and tell Nintendo what they could do just by opening Google and typing the shit in, because it'll just show up. But they want to tell them about all the exploits and all the shit that people have been doing for ages now with their consoles and their handhelds, but strictly with the 3DS, because the 3DS, I mean, was it Ninja Cube is the biggest one that I can think of off the top of my head outside of that 3DS flash cart that they have out, which it's not called the R4, it's called something else. But they're trying to find ways to go and remedy this. The downside is when you go onto a public forum and you say, hey, we want your help with trying to solve these problems, that comes off as a challenge to all the people that keep going after it. Yeah. So these motherfuckers are going to be on that shit. It's going to be like a chain chomp on Mario's
this is good, dude. This is the monkey paw is going to be in full effect here. Careful what you goddamn wish for, Nintendo. You got to watch out for this kind of shit. Because anytime you're encouraging anyone to fucking infiltrate your security, it's like, and here's my wife for you to fuck too. Here you go. And here's a nice plate of cookies and milk, you fucking asshole.
That sounds fucking great, dude. I've never gotten cookies and milk after banging. I've had lots of other awesome food, but never cookies and milk. That I need to make that like a holiday thing. But
that's a good idea. And if you're gonna bang somebody's wife, make sure it's razor fists, because there's cookies.
Yeah, cookie and milk. You can't just have fucking cookies. That's for fucking like.
You sir are a generous host.
Yeah, honestly, I dig that. But I don't know, with something like this, I always think about how it can negatively impact and begin to influence people to want to try to do this more. Yeah. And the few people out there that are going to be willing to come forward and tell them how to stop this, all it is like, hey, we patched this hole. Well, we just made 8 others.
Yeah, exactly. And look, there's a reason the FBI... Like, I have a friend who works for the FBI I3 division, right? He works with the cyber security, whatever. He's a hacker, basically, for the FBI.
Which sounds far more interesting than it actually is.
It does. It sounds a lot more interesting than it is. Really, he's just patching security faults and looking in cases and whatever. But they got a hold of him because they literally, recruited. They heard of something that he did and literally, recruited him. So that's how the FBI gets their hackers, I guess. They just hear about some shit that you do, and they're like, well, shit, you should go work for us, asshole. And often they have leverage.
Isn't that interesting? You break, a few laws, and you go to jail. You break a bunch of laws, you need to work for us. Come here.
It's true.
You know what? But it makes sense. Big companies have been doing this shit for a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's where casinos find cheaters and hire them as security personnel.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that's how the FBI recruit. That's how most profitable companies, recruit or whatever. They don't just advertise in the fucking classifieds. Hey, please, hackers, come hack us and tell us what's wrong with our shit.